Hello viewers, it's Super GT here. Now welcome back to the Stock Car Challenge. So, for those of you who don't know what this is, it's a challenge where I drive a stock car. Yeah, so I'm going to take this, the Mercedes SLS. No tuning is allowed, no upgrades are allowed, and I'm going to drive in A-Class and see what I can do. So I'm putting myself at a bigger disadvantage against the other drivers. Although not too big in this case, because it is just 686 PI with a maximum of 700 for this class. But with a car of this weight and this power, you would want slightly better brakes, slightly better handling. So I'm not going to have that added bonus through 130R. We get through there okay. But then coming into this corner, this is honestly one of the worst corners. And you can see the guy behind just bails out completely. NSX there, going very slowly and sideways. And very deep through that second apex. Bit of contact on the exit of the second part there. Into the Degnas though, we're in 7th place. I'm not sure what the aim here really is. Porsche sideways, I guess the aim is just really not to lose. Just beat as many people as possible and send them to their misery, because they should not be being beaten by a stock car. Although, you know, to be honest, well actually let's just say there, that guy in the Cadillac did a really good job of turning away from that. Because to be honest, I went in a little bit too late there, and good job for him to turn away from that move. And actually it cost him quite a lot of time, because looking back he wasn't actually anywhere to be seen. Yeah, this is a 686 PI car. It's not miles off, perhaps for the next challenge, which I want you to suggest a car for me to do, and perhaps the hopper to use it in. So of course we only have the A-Class hopper at this exact moment, so perhaps an A-Class car would be best, perhaps a low A-Class, because this is a fairly high A-Class. But we also have like the rise of the supercar, track toys cars, which we could use in those hoppers instead. Very wide through 130R. You can see here this car doesn't quite have the handling performance that I would like, or the brakes at all. So you can see here again, so 2 corners in a row, one for handling, one for brakes, messed them both up going into the wall. Absolute noob confirmed, and I'm down, well, in 5th, so it's actually still not too bad. There's 18 people in this lobby, so 5th place isn't too bad. This kind of track though really is not going to suit this car. This, oh yeah, and again just going very wide, trying to get used to this car the best I can, clearly doing a very bad job of it, and now down into 7th, getting the power down though, flying past that Subaru as if he was standing still into the hairpin. And we're going to receive a nice bump in the rear end. Thank you very much for that. The Subaru goes through and reclaims 7th. I was going to go for that gap and it just diminished at the last second, so I had to bail out onto the grass. I've lost another position to that Cadillac, who I brutally overtook a lap ago. Now we're going to look around the outside of the Subaru now, going into the spoon corner. And it's a nicely done move. Actually no, it's not nicely done. I'm way too wide. And he's going to reclaim the position. So we're actually going backwards in this race. Now as I said, this kind of track is really not the one for me. So hopefully a good one comes up in the vote, and we can hopefully go to somewhere a little bit better. Perhaps a power circuit, something like Road America or something. But we shall see. Come into 130R, up the inside, way too deep, way too hot into there. I could not expect the car to realistically get around at that kind of speed. Into turn number 2, the NSX has been punted, I've been punted as well, I'm off, going to try to rejoin, the Subaru is punting everyone, another NSX, it's an NSX Audi over here, and I've just about escaped it, thankfully. So we're going to get away from that halfway through lap number 3, and we are currently sitting in 8th place with a lap and a half to go. So let's see if we can try to improve that position. We are still beating half of the people in this lobby, so that's good news. Normally it's make or break on lap 1. If you can just get away on lap 1, you're okay. Now this Lancia, well there wasn't space there, but he quite simply made the space, and he went through up the inside. Didn't really matter where. He kind of just thought, well, I am coming through here, so I'm going to make it happen. And he did, so well done to him. So we're going to try to retake 8th place. It's not quite going to materialise there, although he moves across. And I've tapped him wide. But he's going to reclaim or keep control and manage to stay in 8th position. This wide body NSX going to come through just shepherd me wide. And the two guys up ahead, the Subaru, he's been in the wars for this entire race, and he's just going to collect the Lancia. They're both going to kill each other into that wall. And I've almost brutally killed the guy behind me there as I tried to slide past the danger. But I've gained 2 positions out of that. So once again, still beating half the pack. So this car can't be too bad, although it would be very nice to have a bit better brakes. As you can see, they're struggling into there, and we're going to lose out to the NSX. Now I believe the NSX was actually helped by, with the help of Ayrton Senna, partially tuned around this very circuit. So you'd imagine that the NSX should be good around here, especially these older, I think the 90s, the 92 NSX I believe. So into the hairpin, is there an opportunity? It opens up slightly, and that's not a good move. So I'm going to have to back out slightly, let him reclaim that position. So not a good move there at all. But we're going to try and do something into spoon curve. This is pretty much the last opportunity to get a position back as we run out of corners to do anything. Looking up the inside, he brakes very early. I'm very narrow though, and I'm just about going to keep it on the track. But coming through spoon curve part 2, the NSX is just planted. I am absolutely not planted. But we are going to get the run here. Let's see if we can do it as we come up to the line. The line's just coming up. I am gaining. I just about run out of road. It's going to be a 9th place. Not a great result. So we're going to try and do our best here. And oh, it turns out Donald Trump is racing. So here we are at Sebring. Donald Trump making an appearance, but he's obviously got a really bad launch. So we're going to really easily drive away from Donald Trump into turn 1. We're in 1st place, started 2nd, now in 1st. So Sebring should suit this car a little bit better. This car very good in the straight line, has tons of power, and of course the brakes and the handling seems to be the main weaknesses. Although this track does have a fair few technical sections, this here being one of them. So Danny Boy there, just going to give you the space on the outside. That's very respectful. I like that. He knew that I was on the outside, just gave me a car whip, and I've exploited that to the max. We're going to drive away. Coming into the hairpin, I'm not sure where to brake. Braking on 350, and clearly that is too late because I'm going to go sliding wide over the grass back onto the tarmac, and I'm going to drop down now into 3rd place. So Danny Boy there, just up ahead, is going to gain a position out of my misfortune or lack of talent, one of the two, into the next turn. Now that guy up ahead pretty much just forgot to brake and just thought he just set himself down in the runoff area. So I've gone back up now, so plenty of braking errors at the moment. My turn 1st and that guy 2nd, so I'm sitting in 2nd. Looking at the back of the Evo, Danny Boy is going to get reeled in here. So Mr. Sugu just behind in, is it the BRZ? Probably not. I'm awful at getting my car names right. Often get it wrong at first glance. We shall see in a moment. There he is, just poking his nose into the bottom of the screen. We are very close to being overtaken here, but we are now coming up to 2 long straights, which is good for this car. We're going to tuck into that slipstream of Danny Boy. He doesn't have the speed to reply to this Mercedes power unit, and we are flying through back into 1st place. Now into the final turn. So of course we're going to have to get on the brakes very early. This car reaching a high top speed but then has poor brakes, so braking even earlier on the exit. Mr. Sugu, there he is. He's going to poke his nose up the inside on the exit. Now coming down the main straight. He's just got a run there. Actually that car is very quick in a straight line given how quick my one is, and he's matching me into the 1st turn. I've braked a little bit late trying to out-brake him, but I shouldn't have done because I was ahead and on the inside. Or is that Toyota GT86, one of the two? Or maybe not, maybe I'm still wrong. Now into turn number 2, we are in there nicely actually, hooking up with the apex beautifully, it must be said. We're going to put our car in the middle of the track. This car's fairly wide actually, so if I just position my car correctly, then there's not much the guys behind can do about trying to overtake me. And now coming down towards the hairpin for the 2nd time of 2, I'm going to try and brake a little bit earlier here, and we have done. Now he's going to look up the inside and, well, it's been a long day without you, my friends. and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again, which hopefully won't be in this race because I'm going to run out the winner here easily. Thank you very much for making that error. It made it very, very easy for me. Victory dance as we move to Brands Hatch. Probably not the best suited track for this car, the Indy version at least. Just corners everywhere, no straights really to speak of. Even the main straight isn't even straight, but we will have some chance to get the power down. Now, starting the race mid-pack, already up to 8th, it's already bottlenecked up at the hairpin. Oh my god, people everywhere, Porsche signs all over the track. What is going on? Coming downhill, if we look up the inside, it's kind of just a rubbish move really. So we're going to hold station in 5th place, look for another move into the next turn. We're side by side going in, and well, not much space was left. We're going to have to settle for staying in 5th, and then looking through the final turn onto the main straight. Here we go. Let's hopefully get the hammer down. Look at the power we have. That deficit is going to be broken right now as we go into turn 1. A little bit late on the brakes, very deep. Going to tap the BMW, but then the Corvette out of nowhere just gives me an assist. Thank you for the assist, mate, there. I wasn't quite going to make that move happen, but then he just made sure of it by ramming me into the position. Thank you so much. Always easier when people are there to lend you a helping hand. So now in 3rd place, coming downhill, hooked up nicely actually. I think this kind of car, you just have to be very patient when turning. You just have to kind of just brake where you really ought to brake, not where you think you want, or where you want to brake, because you start braking a little bit later trying to gain a bit of time and you're just going to go wide. You just have to really bite the bullet and brake early, because you are just going to kill yourself if you don't. So that's going to be 2nd place, and not much else happened in the race. So we're going to cross the line, not too far behind the leader, it must be said. 2nd place, not bad. Final race of the video, VIR. Now this is something of a power circuit. Now there are lots of corners here, but it seems that powerful cars do very well around this track. So this should be suited to me. This should be my domain right now. Now the NSX is going to make contact and slide sideways. I'm up the inside into 3rd place. Just sliding through. Good stuff. We have 2 Porsches just up ahead, and we're going to try and make light work of them. I'm sure it won't be very easy though. Now this is a fairly technical section, and VIR is a track I really do adore now. It's not one I have always liked, but playing it more and more, especially for FRC Season 3, I've learnt to really love it. Now I wasn't sure which way to go there, and I just completely nudged this guy out of the way. So I'm going to have to back out slightly to let him regain his composure. Almost sideswiped from the right hand side. Now after all that, thankfully no one ended up upside down or facing the wrong way. So coming through towards Oak Tree Corner, the guy behind going very wide. Now looking up the inside, it's going to happen, and I'm up the inside very nicely. Oak Tree Corner, up into 2nd place. Now we're running not quite the full configuration here, or the normal VIR circuit. It's the one where you have this strange infield. VIR does have lots of very windy infield sections. Now I'm not sure where to brake going in here. This was pure luck that I got this dead right. Going in for a late apex, actually braked perfectly there, and that was just pure luck. I won't try to claim that I knew what I was doing there. That was just general luck there, and thankfully it actually paid off. Now the Porsche ahead goes very wide. That is a very misleading corner, that one. The corner is just over a crest, and it is very easy to go in too hot and end up going wide, and the guy ahead has just fallen victim to that. It's a very easy corner to get wrong. Now despite all of these corners, this car is actually handling it very well indeed, it must be said. So really it's just the type of corner, I guess. These are lots of very short twisty corners. It's tracks like Suzuka where you've got very long corners. That's where this car suffers a lot. But around here you've got lots of kind of short darty corners, and it's very well suited to this car. And I'm putting pressure now on the leader. He isn't really getting away. He's not making an impression on me. He's going to go wide there, under pressure. Now sliding through the final corner. Look at this. The car just so easily controlled coming through the final turn. 2 cars parked in the middle of the straight. That is not very safe, it must be said. Having 2 cars parked in the middle of the track as you come flying down for lap 2 at 150 miles an hour. Just threading the needle there into turn 1, braking pretty much perfectly. Once you've nailed your braking points, the rest will follow. Now through this section here, let's see how the car handles it. You see here just sliding the car. That perhaps is the best way to drive this car. With so much grunt, you really do have to kind of get it sideways to make the best out of it. And through this section, how will it handle this technical little corner here? It's like a double apex right-hander, plenty of sideways action over the grass slightly. But that is going to be the end, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is going to be an epic little finish here as I roll over. Check this out, go absolutely flying. Thank you very much for watching as always. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.